Hi, Roy here. Roy reads anything. Going to talk about a reading challenge I've decided to do. That is quite an alarming one, in that it involves not buying any new books until a load of existing books have been read. So this was devised by Criminoli, who I believe has done it once before with 100 books, and Greg of Another Bibliophile Reads has kind of codified it and introduced the idea of tiers, so it doesn't have to be 100. And then various other chums, pals, and fellow travellers are doing it as well. So it's going to be fun. So that simply the idea is read some books you've already got, clear your shelves before you buy any new ones. That's the simple headline. Everybody's got their own sort of little rules they need to add to flesh out what exactly that means. So I like the idea of the tiers, because 100 is a lot. This does not escape me. So I'm going for 25 books that I already have to be read before I buy new books. Yeah, my extra rules are certainly not buying any new books from any source in any medium. Um, I will, because I'm doing a course that has books in it, and sometimes I like to buy books rather than just use the library ones. So I will buy books I need for my course, which is quite a big loophole. That could be books from the 19th century or about the 19th century or about my dissertation topic, occult detectives. So they're still fair game, and they're kind of in a separate universe of academic study. Um, Libraries are okay, but I've got all these to get through. So will I be borrowing extra books to read for fun? Not sure. Gifts, well, that's got to be fine if anybody's giving me books. Bear in mind, I'll probably be going way past Christmas with this. Maybe books will come my way. We will see. There are a couple of other things. I will allow myself to buy second-hand books, but only in person from shops. Basically, it would be a bridge too far to be going to some cool, interesting place, visiting an interesting bookshop, and finding some great stuff and not being able to buy it at all. But those would then be added to the total I need to get through before I am allowed to buy new books. Get it? So I've got 25 books here. That's the pool I'm going to draw from. Got some Kindle books as well, so I might swap out some of these for Kindle books along the way, but got to add up to 25. If I'm in a charity shop and I see I don't know, the Book of Kells for £1, and buy that, then it becomes 26 is the target, with this handy counter gadget telling me how far I've got. So I'll be living with this for a while. First time I saw the challenge, I just saw the negative side of the not buying, and I thought, do I want to take some smidgen of pleasure and delete that out of my life? But then I began to think about the positive side of the books that are going to be read, that are being kind of surfaced, preventing them from drifting ever further down into the pile. And then that seemed really cool, because it's like getting a great sort of book haul from one's own resources. So that's what I'm gonna go for. Came up with the selection just to make sure there were a goodly amount of books that I would want to read. All sorts of stuff here. They will fit well into my eclectic book theme for the channel. So I've still got my yard of books as well. Of course, these are the shabby decor books I'm reading. Um, I'm not sure they should count. I think that's a separate thing. Plus, if they're not fiction, I don't necessarily read them from cover to cover. we'll see. So yeah, read what you own challenge is on, and I'm going to do some unboxing. As it happens, a whole bunch of parcels arrived just in time for read what you own challenge. So the stuff in here will probably form part of my set of books that I'm going to aim to read before I buy any new ones. So let's pile into what we've got. But what is it? It is Needle by Hal Clement. So this will be part of plenty of plastic for everybody. Needle by Hal Clement. So this is part of the Hal for the Holidays challenge, which I did a video about. Realised I'd bought a sequel to Needle, thought I'd get Needle. This one came up on eBay, and it's a lovely edition from Corgi Science Fiction. There's a guy driving a jeep away from some kind of cosmic Mishagos. So the two ships raced in from outer space and crashed head-on into the Pacific Ocean. One carried the hunter, the other his quarry. Corrupt, evil, a criminal from an unearthly civilization light years away. Both were unable to exist alone. Both needed a host, a human body which they could invade and control. And it's, according to The Guardian, that rare and magical thing, a science fiction novel, which is also a good novel. So Corgi flying the flag for science fiction there by saying most of it's rubbish. But yeah, that looks lovely. So there you go. I've also got in a jiffy bag. Ah, right. Oh, blimey, this will take some explaining. This will be a new book. It comes from an organisation called Grey Ladies and the Scribbler. It's an autobiography of an author called Mabel Esther Allen. So she wrote over 170 children's books. Why am I interested in her? Because one of those books is Judith Teaches, which is a career book for girls that I've bought out of fascination as to what is a full-length novel about careers, about teaching as a career in this instance going to be like. So wanted to get some background, so I've got this autobiography as well. Okay, so a few more Hal Clement. So hard SF, Nitrogen Fix, his greatest novel since Mission of Gravity. Looks good. Ocean on Top, best-selling author of Mission of Gravity. I'm glad I've got that Mission of Gravity, as that seems to be the benchmark for all things Hal Clement. Super Science and High Suspense at the Bottom of the Sea. Okay. Ice World, another one by Mr. Hal. This is a Del Rey book. No one could possibly live on that frozen planet, but something was answering their messages. Nice one. And Still River, the legendary Grandmaster. Enigma 88, a tiny planet in the orbit of Arc, is a world with so little mass that it should have no atmosphere. But it does. And to find out why is the final study assignment that will earn 5 students, each the best of their species, their prestigious respected opinion degrees. Okay. So yeah, I'm well supplied with Hal Clement. I'm not intending to read necessarily all of these, but they're there to do the Hal for the Holidays challenge and contribute to the 25 read what you own books. I also picked up Monsters and Medics by James White. James White. Not James White and the Blacks, the New York no wave musician, but a science fiction writer, and this is a collection of 5 stories. Just like the cover and the title, really. And finally, from that source, Marching with Sharp, which is a historical book about what it was actually like to fight in Wellington's army, created from first-hand written accounts and contemporary military manuals of the time. So it looks like it's heavily illustrated. Interested in that, two reasons. I like the Sharp books and TV series by Bernard Cornwell. Also, when I did family history stuff, found out one of my ancestors was in the army during this period in the Peninsular War and was actually at Waterloo. So this will maybe give me an insight into some of the experiences my great, 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 however many, grandfather had in those times. One more to come. A box that says happiness guaranteed, and also is not going to contain a Yankee Candle. So I like both of those things. Kind of, the older I get, the more allergic I am to anything with a perfumey smell, so scented candles are a no-no. So, inner wrapping. What's it gonna be? Whoa! Okay, now, here's something I've been looking for ages, and it's one of those things where you see them but at stupid prices, and this came up as a reasonable price. Ginger Rogers and the Riddle of the Scarlet Cloak. So this is part of a short series of books published by Whitman in which film stars solve crimes in a sort of young adult Nancy Drew type of manner. So Whitman Publishing Company, oh my god, everything about this is great. 1942 is when it came out. A lot of excitement going on in the end papers there. It just seems such a bizarre concept, both as merchandise for the stars and as a form of fiction. As night telephone operator at the exclusive Seaview Hotel, Ginger Rogers receives a scarlet cloak as a gift from an unknown admirer in the hotel. The scarlet wrap leads Ginger into dangerous and thrilling adventures involving an aircraft plant and international spies. Ginger Rogers is one of the leading actresses in Hollywood. Her earlier films featured her as a musical comedy star, but she has since laid aside her famous dancing slippers and proved her ability in more dramatic roles. And there's a list of her films. So not only is it Ginger Rogers, she isn't actually a film star in this. She's working as a receptionist in a hotel. I cannot compute this. Have to read it. It's definitely going on the pile of the read anything. Read anything? That's what I do. Read anything to the number of 25. That challenge that's in the other video. I'm losing track. I'm kind of bowled over by getting this. Also the cover, it just look. I don't bandy the word surreal around, you know, but it does it does look like a crude piece of surrealist painting. Just fantastic. Okay, that's my lot on that. That's my unboxing, surprise unboxing. I'm ready for anything now. Thank you for watching. If you want to see what happens when I read these, then hit the subscribe button and you will be reminded that videos about that have appeared. Yes.